Triple H just prevented the biggest match in WWE history and fans are absolutely furious. The chief content officer personally blocked Brock Lesnar from getting his hands on Femi in what might be the most controversial executive decision since Triple H took creative control, and I am sitting here livid because this decision exposes WWE's favoritism, their willingness to protect certain talent at the expense of organic storytelling, and their complete disregard for what fans actually want to see. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why Triple H made this shocking power move, what it reveals about WWE's backstage politics, why Brock Lesnar is absolutely furious at being denied his revenge, and why Femi might have just been saved from career-ending destruction. Stay until the very end because the real reason Triple H intervened has nothing to do with protecting Oba and everything to do with corporate politics. Let me break down exactly how this situation unfolded because every detail reveals the dysfunction in WWE's decision-making process. After Femi's psychotic meltdown on Brock Lesnar several weeks ago, everyone assumed WWE would book a match between them. The storyline was perfect: young powerhouse disrespects legend, legend comes for revenge, collision creates massive moment. But instead of capitalizing on red-hot heat, WWE went silent on the feud. Brock Lesnar has been publicly demanding a match with Femi. In rare on-camera interviews, Brock has expressed genuine anger at Oba's disrespect and made it clear he wants to teach that kid a lesson. Brock even broke his typical part-timer schedule and started appearing on Raw every week specifically to confront Oba. The Beast Incarnate was ready to go, motivated for revenge, and fans were absolutely hyped. But every single week, something prevented the confrontation. Oba would be unavailable or dealing with NXT obligations. Brock would come out looking for Oba, but management would claim they couldn't find him. The excuses became more and more transparent, and fans started questioning what was really happening behind the scenes. The breaking point came this past Monday when Brock Lesnar stormed into Triple H's office live on Raw with cameras following. The footage showed Brock absolutely demanding that Triple H book the match immediately. "I don't care about your plans, I don't care about protecting your prospect, give me Femi or I'm leaving WWE." The ultimatum was crystal clear. Triple H's response was absolutely stunning and revealed the truth about what's been happening. "Brock, I understand you're angry, but I can't let you destroy Femi. Not because I'm afraid you'll hurt him, but because Oba is essential to our long-term plans. You're a legend who doesn't need this match. Oba is a developing star who can't afford to be squashed right now. So the answer is no, this match isn't happening." The audacity of Triple H publicly telling Brock Lesnar that he's being denied a match, that management is actively protecting Oba from him, that corporate plans supersede natural storytelling, it was absolutely shocking. Brock's face showed pure disbelief. The Beast Incarnate looked like he wanted to F5 Triple H through the desk. Can we talk about the hypocrisy this exposes? Triple H has spent 2 years claiming WWE under his leadership would focus on organic storytelling, on giving fans what they want, on letting feuds play out naturally. But the moment it might hurt one of his pet projects, Triple H reveals he's willing to block matches and manipulate storylines just like Vince McMahon used to. Here's what makes this even more infuriating: Femi started this feud. He's the one who attacked Brock unprovoked. He's the one who ran his mouth and disrespected a legend. And now that there are consequences for his actions, Triple H is protecting him from facing them? That's not building a star, that's creating an entitled brat who learns that management will save him from his own mistakes. Social media has been an absolute meltdown since Triple H's decision became public. #LetBrockFight is trending worldwide. Fans are absolutely furious that WWE is denying them the match they want. People are calling Triple H a hypocrite, accusing him of favoritism, and demanding he reverse this decision immediately. Let's examine the real reasons behind Triple H's decision because his public explanation is only part of the story. According to multiple backstage sources, there are layers to why WWE is protecting Femi that have nothing to do with his development. First, Femi is being groomed as the face of NXT's next evolution. WWE has invested heavily in building Oba as the unstoppable force who will carry NXT through its next phase. If Brock Lesnar destroys Oba in 5 minutes, that entire investment is wasted. The corporate suits are terrified of Brock damaging their long-term plans. Second, Brock Lesnar's schedule and contract status creates complications. Brock is a part-timer who could leave WWE at any moment. If WWE builds this match, promotes it heavily, and then Brock decides to walk away before it happens, they're left with nothing. Triple H wants to avoid being held hostage by Brock's scheduling demands. Third, and this is the most controversial reason, there are concerns about what Brock might actually do to Oba in the ring. Brock has a reputation for working stiff, for not protecting opponents he doesn't respect. Given Brock's genuine anger at Oba's disrespect, there are legitimate worries that Brock might shoot on Oba and actually injure him. Triple H is trying to protect Oba from potential real harm. Can we address how insulting this is to Brock Lesnar? Triple H is essentially saying Brock can't be trusted to work professionally, that Brock might actually hurt someone out of anger. That's questioning Brock's professionalism and integrity as a performer. No wonder Brock is absolutely livid at this decision. Here's what the locker room is reportedly thinking about this situation. Veterans are appalled that management is protecting Oba from consequences. They believe if you start a feud, you should be willing to finish it. Younger talent is worried because if management will block matches for political reasons, what's stopping them from interfering in anyone's storylines? The Brock Lesnar response to being denied has been absolutely predictable. He's threatening to leave WWE. Multiple sources indicate Brock has told management that if they won't give him the match he wants, he'll simply walk away and never come back. That's the nuclear option, and it puts Triple H in an impossible position. Let's examine the precedent this sets because it's absolutely dangerous for WWE's future. If Triple H can block matches based on backstage politics, what's stopping him from interfering in other feuds? What about when young stars need losses to learn? Will management protect them from every setback? That's not how you build resilient performers. Can we talk about Oba Femi's reaction to being protected? Reports indicate Oba is furious that Triple H blocked the match. Oba apparently wants to face Brock, wants to prove himself against a legend, wants to show he can hang at that level, but management won't let him. So now Oba is being denied the opportunity to back up his words. Here's what makes this situation absolutely fascinating. It reveals the tension between creative vision and organic storytelling. Triple H has a plan for Oba Femi that involves systematic build, strategic positioning, careful protection. But the Brock feud developed organically and fans are invested. Triple H is choosing his plan over what's naturally hot. The financial implications are also massive. A Brock Lesnar vs Oba Femi match would draw huge numbers. Premium live event buys, merchandise sales, mainstream media attention, all of it would be incredible. By blocking this match, Triple H is potentially costing WWE millions in revenue. Is protecting Oba's development worth that financial sacrifice? Let's address the alternative scenarios Triple H could have pursued instead of outright blocking the match. He could have booked a protected loss for Oba where Brock wins but Oba looks strong. He could have added stipulations that limit damage. He could have done a build where Oba gets ready before facing Brock. Instead, he chose the nuclear option of complete prevention. Can we examine what this means for Brock's WWE future? If Brock does walk away over this, WWE loses one of their biggest draws, one of their most legitimate stars, someone who brings mainstream credibility. All because Triple H refused to book a match that fans desperately want. Is Oba Femi worth losing Brock Lesnar over? Here's what the media is saying about this situation. Mainstream sports outlets are covering this as evidence of WWE's scripted nature being too obvious. They're pointing out that if WWE won't let natural feuds play out, they're admitting the product is predetermined rather than competitive. That damages WWE's credibility as sports entertainment. The long-term damage to Oba Femi's credibility might be irreversible. Fans now see Oba as someone who needed management protection to avoid facing consequences. That's not a future main eventer, that's someone who can't handle the pressure. Triple H might think he's protecting Oba, but he's actually destroying Oba's credibility with fans. Let's talk about what WWE should do to fix this mess. Triple H needs to reverse his decision immediately. Book the match for a premium live event with proper build. Give Oba time to prepare. But let the match happen because blocking it creates more problems than it solves. Can we address the hypocrisy of Triple H criticizing Vince McMahon's booking style while making the same kinds of political decisions? Triple H spent years complaining about Vince's favoritism, about Vince protecting certain talents, about Vince letting backstage politics influence creative. Yet here's Triple H doing the exact same thing with Oba Femi. The petition that fans started demanding Triple H reverse his decision has already gathered over 100,000 signatures. That shows the intensity of fan investment in seeing this match. WWE can't ignore that level of audience demand without suffering consequences. Here's my prediction for how this ultimately plays out. Fan pressure will force Triple H to cave. He'll find some way to book the match while saving face, probably claiming new circumstances changed his mind. But the damage to his credibility as someone who listens to fans is already done. The ultimate lesson here is that WWE management still doesn't trust organic storytelling. They're so committed to their predetermined plans that they'll block natural feuds to maintain control. That's the opposite of what Triple H claimed he'd do when he took over. So here's what I need from everyone watching. Drop a comment telling Triple H he made the wrong decision. Tell me if you think Brock should leave WWE over this. Tell me if Oba Femi's credibility is permanently damaged. Share this video because every wrestling fan needs to know that WWE is blocking the match everyone wants. Smash that like button if you think Triple H is being a hypocrite. And subscribe to Wrestling News CC for continued coverage as this situation develops. Triple H blocked Brock Lesnar from destroying Oba Femi, exposed WWE's favoritism, and proved that management still doesn't trust organic storytelling. Sound off in the comments and demand this match happen. This is Wrestling News CC, and I'll see you in the next one.